Hello and welcome back to Demon's YouTube channel. Today it's just a off the fly decided to do a video day, and so here we are. Today's topic is basically, I wanted to think of a topic very quickly, so I typed in, what was it, biggest problems facing executive assistants. And so when Google came up, it came up with 4 challenges, and it's right there. I'll put a picture of it here. 4 challenges for executive assistants. I think there's an article, so you may want to read that afterwards. But I'm just going over the top. And then it says people also asked, and then there are 4 other questions that people asked. So we're going to go over those quickly today at a high level, because getting into each one would, you could seriously do a day on each one of these topics. So we'll get into the high level, and I will see you in a minute. Okay, thank you for viewing. I hope you have a good day today. If you didn't and you just want to vent and say, hey, my day is doing this, leave it below. This is a place. I'm trying to make this channel where you have a friend, a peer, someone that you could reach out to and just actually interact with. That's why we're going to be doing the lives. I will be doing a live, I think it's Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't picked which day, but it's going to be, I think, about 1 o'clock Mountain Time, so that's 10 Pacific Time. 12 Pacific Time and to 3 Eastern Time. That's going to be starting Wednesday or Thursday, probably Wednesday. We'll figure out. I'll post it somewhere, and if not, it'll develop. But it's basically a way to interact, and hopefully we could get people coming in. We could do days in the lives and make it just a really a little place where you can relate. So anyway, back to the topic. Today we're going to do the, as I said, biggest problems facing executive assistants. And the first one that came up was bandwidth. And it says, nobody has enough time in the day, ... Now, I did not click into the article, so this is just my opinion. And that's one thing about me and Demon is that I really believe everybody has their own way and their own golden nuggets, as I call it, of wisdom. So what I say is my way, but you may have your way that works just as well for you. But I encourage you to share it. Leave comments below, get on one of the lives and share your information, because there's so many different ways to do one task. There's no right way. I'm not going to say, hey, you do this, this, and this. You may have a way, and I may even go, wow, I didn't think about that. Great example, to-do list. There are so many different ways to do a to-do list. I know I like the way I do mine, but I know there's some that have other ways, and they're really good, but for me, my way is better. So I'll share my way. But then if you share your way, maybe another assistant that sees these videos will like your way better. They may like my way better. It's up to you. Anyway, so that's just because I haven't done a lot of videos, that's why I wanted to say that. I want this to be very casual and interactive, and hopefully grow into a community of friends or peers, or you know what I mean. Anyway, so let's get on to it. Bandwidth. So, excuse me while I itch. I'm not going to redo the video for that. Anyway, so let's see. So, what is bandwidth in an EA's day? Okay, you have people constantly requesting things from you. You have your boss coming at you. You have coworkers. You have incoming calls. Then you have you're scheduling meetings all day. At least most assistants are. And email. You have email. Then you have more email. And then you have more email. So, and on top of that, let's see, then you have your fires you have to put out. And let's see, then you go from like emergency to emergency. And then on top of that, you have those people that you need that little hand holding, and it's like, where's the pen? I thought we had Bic pens, and I only see Pentel pens. Or, hey Susan, I jammed the photocopier and can't get the paper out. The little fires. All of these things are your bandwidth, and some days you just don't have enough time, or things happen and you have trouble getting your work done. So basically, my top level solutions to that are first, look at your time management, and this is where the big level is. You could go into time management, and there's a lot of articles, we'll be going over some that help you manage your time better, and it could be as simple as reading your emails on set times and not stopping to read the email and reacting, little things like that. So basically, look at your time management and find the little things you can do that will help. And then, because the little things you do add up to big things. What was the other one that I had? I wrote a note there. Let's see, we have time management, and the other one that on a high level is, and this is another thing we'll be talking about in the future, is your flow time. And the flow time is when you just hit that stride. There is going to probably be, and you probably know this because you're self-aware of your day, when you work the best, when you're just going at it and everything's going fine. If you can find a pattern in that, do your hardest tasks at that time. Now, those are just two very simple, but very much more involved, if you look at it, ways that you could hit that bandwidth and try to get a little more into it. There's so many other things. As I said, you could do a whole day. Maybe I will do something on bandwidth. I will do some research and do a video just on bandwidth. Okay, let's see, what was the next one? Digital dependency. Okay, and then they say this is a problem. To me, digital dependency is a given. It is there. It's not going to change. The biggest thing I could say about digital dependency, in my view, is go with it. Learn as much as you can. Use it to your advantage. It's there to stay. It's there to stay. Okay, the next one, delegating. Okay, now I'm not sure if this delegating means the boss delegating to you, which goes back to the bandwidth, or if it's you delegating to someone else. So with delegating, I'm going to say, you know your strengths and you know your weaknesses. Now, part of me says you should take your weaknesses and learn how to improve them and make them into strengths. But then there's that part back to the bandwidth and getting your stuff done. Maybe it is better to take some of the things that you aren't as good at, or something that will take more time for you than just outsourcing it or delegating it. So you could delegate some of the things if you have someone that you can delegate to, or as I said, outsource some of those things that you may have struggle on or you're still learning. But then, as I said again, it's always good to take those weaknesses and turn them into strengths. Okay, next one was frustration in communications. Ooh, that's a big one too. We have a whole course that I did, which I haven't published yet because I'm moving into a different platform, about communications. It's huge. So basically, some of my communications tips would be, make sure you actively listen. And if you don't know what I think everybody knows. Well, actively listen, which is make sure you really listen. Make sure you let the person who you're listening to know you're listening and respond, so they know that you've realized that you know what they're saying in the correct concept. So do some active listening, and basically if you do have a question, make sure you clarify it. Communications is so vital, especially if your boss, as I said, make sure you are clear and both of you know what the outcome is supposed to be, or what the communications is supposed to be, and you're on the same level, and you understand that you're not misinterpreting something. So let's see what's next. We got what is the most challenging part of being an assistant? Woo, that's, I think, different for everybody. It could be a challenging job. I'm going to give you just my personal experience. My personal experience, and where I had the most trouble, and it's so terrible because I'm the editor at the Estiman, is proofreading. I still have problems with it. You will find typos. It's better with all Grammarly and these new what they say, the technical digital dependency. It's better with that, but back when it was 80s, and I've gotten better, as I said, just because you get older and you learn. But my first jobs, I just would do stupid little typos, and it's the one thing that you're not supposed to do as an assistant. You're supposed to be great at proofreading. I was not. I was great at project management, but I was not good at typos. So we all have our challenges. Sometimes it's, as I said, the time management, it's the communications, it can be just knowing how to do different projects. Maybe it's people, maybe you work for difficult people. So the most challenging part of being an executive assistant, I think, varies to person. And we'll get in, that's a good one too. I think this is great. I'm going to look at all of these topics in a little more detail. Why do executive assistants quit? Now, I've done no research on this, but I'm going to give you what I think would be. Number one, I think would be a stress in the office and not having a good relationship with your boss. Because being an assistant, if you have a good relationship with your boss, it could be the best job. It's the best. I'm sure many of you know it could be the best job in the world. You feel satisfied. You feel like you're doing something, like you're helping, like you're part of the team. But then when you have that boss that isn't good, oh man, it's terrible. And I could see people quitting because of that. I could also see people quitting because of personal matters. Usually I would assume a lot of it would be, family, staying home with kids, or wanting a different life with their, staying home or working from home, being a virtual assistant maybe. That's the two reasons I would see about why do assistants quit. That is something. Let's do that as a topic. Why do you think assistants quit their jobs? Is it like me? Do you think it's just the job environment, maybe not working for that perfect boss, or a company that's just, when you have a stressful job? I mean, no, you can have a stressful job, and that's actually the next question, and be happy. But you know what I hope you know what I'm saying. When you just don't have that when you have a hostile work environment, even if it's not hostile, but it's not pleasant. I think that's why. Let me know what you think, why people quit, or why assistants quit. Okay, let's see, that's the next one was, is the executive assistant a stressful job? It can be. I think there's good stress and there is bad stress, and I think all jobs come with both. It's how you handle the stress. So basically, you may have a job that's just, you have that bandwidth that you don't have any, and that's putting stress on you. You may have a job that's stressful because you aren't 100% positive on how to do things. There are so many reasons that assistants can be stressed, and it's basically how you deal with that stress. That's my answer for that one. You have to learn to identify it and then figure out how to work it. There are times when nothing you do is going to make it less stressful, but you'll be able to manage the stress better because you realize that. And then there's those times when you're stressing over nothing, and that's when I do say, don't sweat don't sweat the small stuff. Definitely, I believe that. Things happen. How many times have you been stressed and you're panicking. But if you look back, it all worked out. Probably 95% of the time. I mean, I would assume it's very high over the times that it just didn't work out. So, things work out in the end. As an assistant, we're the ones who figure out how to do it. Stressful or not, we figure out solutions. So let's see, what's the last one that I have here? Is being an executive assistant difficult? Can be, but it cannot be. You learn. As I said, I think, there's one more question there. What was the last? There's a bunch. Wow, there's a lot more that I didn't see. But anyway, let me see if there's anyway. What was this one? This was, is it difficult? It can be. As I said, you learn over time, and the more skills you gain, the less difficult it is. When you're starting out, if you start out at the right level in the right position, it's just like when you're a parent, you kind of learn as you go. And then there are places that can help you, like Demon, like my courses. Self-plug, but there's other people that have great courses, and I will support every single one of the trainers out there. As I said, the Practically Perfect PA, ASAP, Office Dynamics. I've never seen his classes, but Jeremy Burroughs. There's tons of them, and as I said, we all have our pieces of great information that we could give you. But as I said, I still do the self-plug. Check out mine. Anyway, so let's see what's next. What are administrative problems? I'm going to forget that one because it's kind of everything that they're talking about. Why are most executive assistants female? I think that's changing. I don't think, they're still a majority, but I think they're both. I think it was just because it was perceived as a secretary job, but that is definitely changing. So we'll go over that one another day. But I don't think it is perceived. Is anymore. Anyway, that was it. There's other ones are: can executives move up? Yes, you can move up. You could move into marketing. You can move into project management. You can move into chief of staff. That's what many do. There are definitely avenues to move up. And this is the last question on what do people ask. What should I do after executive assistant? Well, that goes the same thing as moving up. There's all kinds of different places. I like this list. I'm going to use this list in each one of these. I think I will do a video on in the future, because it's always trying to think, what do you want? And there go questions that people are asking. If you do have any topics you want to know, please let me know. We'll put them on to the lives that I'm going to do, and hopefully you join and we could talk about that. And then as I said, because my solutions are not the solutions, it's just one way. And I'd love to get different ways. Even on the courses, I have a place where I hope people will put their solutions. Anyway, with that is it for today. That is about 18-20 minutes of me just going over the top questions, or the questions that they are asking or at least the questions that come up on Google when it says biggest problems facing executive assistants, even though I'm not sure. What is your biggest problem? There we go. Put that below as well. What is your biggest problem as an assistant or facing an assistant? Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you for visiting. If you haven't, or if you would like to see more of these videos, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification so you can be notified whenever we do go live or we have new content. With that, I will see you next time. Bye.